and then take my video off. So focus on you.
Okay.
But yes, go for it.
Thanks. Hi, everybody. Well, here we are 7 months into COVID-19 and all the quarantining and social distancing and things are not looking like it's going to abate anytime soon. So I thought this was a really good topic. We talked about it, Dax and I and Jessica and too, and we thought it would be a good idea just to kind of like talk a little bit about how to can you be happy and healthy during this time? And we think, yeah, you can. It's going to take a little bit more work or a little bit more creativity to do that, but it is possible. First, I want to introduce myself. My name is Julia Bates. I've been a nurse for 30 years. I've been a meditator longer than that. And I love Startup Week. It's been a thing for me. I first came to Geekdom one night 3 years ago when they had what I thought was a class on something, but it ended up being Startup Weekend. And I pitched a meditation cushion that I had designed for myself, a better meditation cushion, and ended up being one of the winners at the end of the weekend. So Startup Week has like a really special place in my heart. And so when they asked me to talk about health and welfare and during COVID, I was like, of course, happy to do that. So I actually have some experience with this kind of thing. It's a little different, but much the same. About 10 years ago, my daughter was diagnosed with a chronic illness, and I had to quit my job and stay home and take care of her. And I mean, literally stay home, for like 4 years and take care of her. There were times when we could get out and do things. And there were times when maybe for a whole week, the only place I went was the grocery store. And that was it. So I've done this before, a little bit differently, but I've done it. And I did it with all the fear that we feel with what's going on now. My daughter was very ill and my mother was dying. So it was a really stressful time, and I knew I had to fall back on my training as a meditator and as a nurse to make it through, not just make it through, but make it better. Make it better for all of us, the whole family, during this really difficult time. So, here we are in a different scenario, but I've found that the same principles are applied here. So we had to make a new normal, and I guess that's what you guys have been doing as well, is you've been making a new normal. And a few of the things that I think really helped me was to develop a schedule. And there were a few other things that I thought really helped me. So I thought we'd touch on these things, and that's having a routine, getting used to movement, and what works for us and what we need, nutrition, and then connection. And so we'll go through each one of those things. And we have a Q&A, and we also have a chat. So if you guys are interested and have something to say or have a question, please feel free to use that. So routine, for a while, I wasn't sleeping when Corey was so sick. And I have to say the same thing happened when COVID started. I really struggled with sleep. And both times I had to kind of like sit myself down and say, you know how to do this. You're trained to do this. So maybe just be mindful of your emotions and how they're affecting your body, and start doing those things that work for sleep. So one of the things that works for sleep is getting up in the morning. As soon as you get up in the morning, get outside. When you get outside and the sun hits your eyes, it all of a sudden starts this cascade of hormone changes that later in the evening set you up for your melatonin levels to within your body to go ahead and start doing the things it's supposed to do, and that's relaxing you and making you sleepy. So that was something I started doing, and I'd always kind of been a person who got up and let the dogs out, but I started going out with them and working in the garden and having some vitamin D time. We know now it's something that we've been hearing a lot in the news. I don't know if you've been hearing it, but as a health professional, I definitely have been hearing it. That vitamin D is really helpful for the immune system. I kind of knew that before, but they're actually encouraging people to take vitamin D. Now, any kind of advice that I give you here today, if you have any kind of health condition or see a doctor, for regular, thing, that you connect with them first, before you dive off into doing any of these things. But vitamin D, you can take some vitamin D and go outside. We usually kind of need both. We don't really get enough from our diet unless you eat a lot of beef liver. Or was it sardines? I think it's vitamin D in it. So if you get outside and you take a little vitamin D, that's also super helpful for your immune system and what you need to do to relax your body as well. So sunlight, getting outside, and that also you can do a lot while you're outside. You can just go outside and just lay there and just relax and meditate, or sit there and relax and meditate. That works. You can go out and just really get a good workout, whether you're working in the garden, whether you're going for a run or a bike ride or a walk. Any of those things, kill two birds with one stone kind of a thing. Get your sunlight in, get your light in your eyes, and then get your exercise going. That's what we do. Tom and I, every morning, we get up, we're out the door as soon as the sun rises, and we go for a 2.5-mile walk in Terrell Hills, because there's lots of hills and we really get a good workout out of that. So find what works for you and do that. But I would say getting up, but even if you have like a balcony that you just go out and have your coffee out on a balcony, make sure you get some sunlight in your eyes. Super important to getting that all of those hormones cascading in to make sure that you have a quiet evening and some good sleep. And if you don't have a good night's sleep, do not beat yourself up about it. It'll happen. I know I went for a few weeks where I really wasn't sleeping well, and I finally had to stop getting upset with myself over it. Just say, it'll be what it'll be. You do the things you know work, and it'll happen. And now I really don't. I really haven't struggled with sleep. I might have one night a great once in a while, but if you are struggling with sleep and it's something that you need to talk to a professional about, you should do that. Of course, we talked about getting outside, and nature is definitely a healing entity. It's just you get outside and just be around nature, trees, and good oxygen, and just really feeling like you're something out there is bigger than you and bigger than COVID, and feeling that humility and that love for our planet that keeps us alive. So just get outside, do something, and it really does. You really will reap rewards with it. Another part of my routine is I get up every morning and I drink a glass of water, at least one. When you sleep at night, your body dehydrates. You perspire quite a bit. You probably didn't realize that, but you do. And you also, if you lose a lot of water out through your breathing. So you've spent a whole probably 10 hours without water. So you probably didn't drink a lot of water before you went to bed. Just go ahead and drink at least one glass of water, maybe two. And that's, that goes into my next thing is hydration is super important. And you may feel like you drink enough water, but depending on your activity level and lots of things about you, maybe your height and your weight and all of that, 8 glasses of 8 ounces or more is really what is a rule of thumb kind of a thing. But that's not for everybody. Everybody is different. So see what works for you. If you feel like you're thirsty, then you're not getting enough water. Another thing is making sure that your urine is pale yellow. I know we're going to talk a little bit about stuff like that. I'm a nurse, I don't care. So I was a pediatric nurse for a long time and got used to talking about stuff like that with kids. They are so over it. They don't care. They talk about that body functions without any trouble. So we should too. So another thing that I wanted to talk about is movement. And we talked a little bit about exercise, but we sit probably more than we really should. And it's not so much that we sit, because we do sit a lot, but it really is more that you sit wrong. How often do we sit hunched over a computer, kind of like this? I don't know if you can see me, but kind of like this, where our backs are rounded, our chests are compressed. And, uh, and so what that does is that loosens up all of those muscles in the back of in your back, your trapezius and your latissimus, all these rhomboids and things like that, all back in here, that you need to, you know, have good posture and to grow a keep and grow a straight spine. So, so posture is a super important thing while you're sitting down and you're working every day. So just think about all the things that we do, and also if you're sitting like this and you're not really breathing very well, the posture also can impact your digestion, and that's super important. We don't want to impact our digestion. It's just as bad as impacting your breathing. So we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about stretches and exercises we can do to make sure that we keep our posture in good alignment. The main thing is just be mindful. Like all of these things that we're going to talk about is just be mindful. Be mindful of your body. Be mindful of your mind. Be mindful of how your emotions are connecting with your body and your mind. So stretches, mindful. We're just going to keep that shoulder back there, open up the chest, and make sure that you're breathing well, that your head and your tummy has lots of room to digest food. And so one of the things I like to do, and it works really well, especially since I had a shoulder injury, is put my hands up here and then just do shoulder rolls. Just putting the elbows, doing clockwise and then counterclockwise. Do 10 of those at a time. You can do those several times a day. They feel really good. And this is an exercise that I learned from physical therapists. Is you kind of like put your hands at like a right angle, like so, on both sides. And then you can go ahead and just slowly glide them. All these exercises, they should be done easing in and easing out of just slowly guide. You're going to feel, it feels harder than it looks. It's just, you're just raising your hands up, all the way up, and you are bringing them back down to a 90-degree angle. And you can do that many, many times. You can do that while you're waiting for a Zoom to start. You can do that while my house, my internet goes out all the time. So I'm always sitting here waiting for that to happen. So I do some of these little things just to kind of engage those muscles back there. You can also do a trunk twist. You should twist your spine every single day, however you do it. An easy way to do it is when you're sitting down and just grab the back of your chair and then just twist all the way this way and then twist all the way this way. And you can do that several times, many times during the day. It's a good way to do it. Laying down on the ground is really a great way to twist your spine, but keeping that spine supple and having movement in it is super important. Another exercise is, well, not so much an exercise, but a stretch. Our body, when we sit in this position, it gets tight glutes and tight piriformis. So a piriformis can cause you a lot. Tight piriformis can cause you a lot of problems. So a piriformis stretch is really nice to do several times a day. And you can put your ankle up on, so let's say your right ankle upon your left knee. And it's like a masculine cross your leg kind of thing. So we do that, and then you lean forward gently, and just hold that for, if you can, 30 seconds to a minute, and then switch and do it again, and do that one several times a day as well. Just kind of when you're thinking about it and you need to move around, but you're still working, so you can do that. You can do some of these things while you're still like really working or reading on your computer. The other thing that we need to do is the 20-20-20 rule. Every 20 minutes, look 20 feet away for 20 seconds. And that helps with your eyesight retraining it to not be so myopic right here. It helps your eyes, the lens of it contract in a different way so that it doesn't, stay that way. So you want to, it also helps with headaches. It just helps overall to look away for at least 20 seconds every 20 minutes. So, and then also to get up and move every 20 or 30 minutes, get up and do some squats, get up and I do push-ups on the kitchen counter sometimes. I just get tired and exhausted and I just can't do it anymore. So to sit and work anymore. So I go out and in the kitchen and I get a glass of water and do about 25 counter push-ups and then go back and sit down and feel like a new person. It's all these things. If you have any ideas, by the way, you can put them in the chat or you can let us know what I think there's a couple things in the chat. Um, so so anyway, someone on the SW team is talking about pee. It's an important part of our lives. Anyway, the other thing I highly recommend is if you just you're getting, it's late in the afternoon, you're getting tired and you've got a little bit to go, but you have about 10 minutes before you have to do the next thing. So let's say you're 10 minutes in between Zoom calls, which is what a friend of mine asked me that question yesterday. So one of the great things to do is just have a playlist of things you like to dance to. And if it doesn't even matter if there's anybody in the room, but if there's nobody in the room, it's even better. Just put it on 5 minutes, one song, 2 songs, something like that, and just dance like crazy. Try it, because you do. You can come back to your computer and be happy. You'll have a smile on your face. You'll have a little heavy breath. Your heart rate will be going a little bit, and it'll make the rest of the afternoon a little bit easier. Just and then if you come back into a Zoom meeting, they'll be wondering what you've been up to. But it really changes your mind. It changes your body. So it just dance. It's fine. It doesn't matter. Nobody's watching. Just dance. So I thought we talked a little bit about nutrition, because that's a super important part of being healthy and happy in COVID. And it's really just eat more plants. It's not that hard. You just eat more plants. You don't have to eat only plants, but just try to have a mostly plant-based diet. Drink a lot of water. If you drink a lot of coffee and you drink a lot of tea and you drink a lot of alcohol, because apparently alcohol consumption's up. No, really? Yeah, alcohol consumption's up, but moderation, and it's fine. But yeah, drink water. All those things dehydrate you, and then dancing dehydrates you as well. So one of the last things I wanted to talk about, and I'd like to really get into it on the Q&As and the chat, is connection. There are lots of ways to connect with people. I see my neighbor across the street, and I go and say hi. And we stand there sometimes. We just talk a little bit. I have a friend who has a weekly bike ride with a friend. You can bike ride social distancing. You can do it. You can walk social distancing. You can go hiking social distancing. You can go visit someone in their backyard. Just bring your own drink and your own food or whatever, and you go to their house and you go sit in the backyard, especially now that the weather's so much nicer. Do that. Go see your friends. Go sit out on they're sick. They can sit on the front porch. We see that a lot when we drive through the neighborhoods, because we're looking for a house right now. And we see people sitting on their porches, and then we see their family members out on the lawn on lawn chairs. And it's awesome. They're connecting. They're doing their best to stay connected, seeing each other face to face, but still without having to be so close up. There's ways to maybe join a group that does like gardening at the local community garden, or there's so many ways to social distance. We do a wine class here at Rosella's. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm at Rosella's today working, and nobody else is allowed in here, just me. We still aren't open. I know, it's frustrating, but we do a wine class 2 or 3 nights a week, and people sit very far away from each other, and we have a really great teacher, and we pour all the wines first and everything. And then we have charcuterie that we make for them, and they come in. I tell you, they absolutely love it. So many of these people don't ever get out, and I had a lady almost start crying the other night because she was so happy to be here and just have something that felt somewhat normal but still really safe. So find those things that you can do that are safe. And yeah, so that's I love this from Jeanette, porch potlucks. Drop off a dish to a neighbor's driveway or CrossFit with your neighbors on the block, which is a really good idea. So well, one of the other things I want to talk to you about really is about taking this time to really learn about yourself. When Corey and I got stuck, with each other for 4 years, basically with very little interaction from other people, we went through a really, really difficult time, and I really spent that time doing a lot of online classes, watching a lot of YouTubes, some webinars, mostly on meditation, because I knew then that meditation was what was saving me at that time. And I wanted to teach more people about it. And I wanted to go about it in a medical person way. So that's what I did. And we also became very, very close. I mean, very close. She was in a wheelchair for a while. I had to bathe her for a while. She's 14, 15, 16 years old, 18, 19, 20 years old. I mean, she really didn't start getting better until she was around 21. She's 24 now. She moved to New York for a little while and had to move back because of COVID. So things are a lot better. But man, things were really, really rough at the time. And we both have had like really serious talks about how that changed our lives, that period of like 5 years of just really being in a whole different like world. It was really, we didn't feel like we were living in the real regular world anymore. And we both really have found that we are better people for it. I was a pediatric ICU nurse. I've been around a lot of death and sadness, and I don't think I really understood empathy. And I thought I did until that happened to us. And I kind of really, really wanted to use what I learned to help other people. And she's doing the same thing. She says the same thing. She said her life would be totally different right now if she hadn't gone through that experience. She was really kind of heading down toward a, not a great road at the time, being a teenage girl, and she was being a little bit of a trouble. And she really became wise during that time. And I see that wisdom in her now as a 24-year-old. And things are going good. So I think we took something really terrible and made something pretty beautiful out of it. And I'm hoping that this happens too with all of this. So anyway, Dax wanted me to suggest dance tunes. So I really like 21 Pilots. I think they're a lot of fun to dance to. They're so silly. And I also listened to Cage the Elephant, which is fun to dance to. And then Bruno Mars, you got to watch him on YouTube and try to, copy his moves. You can't, I can't, I try, but I can't do it. But it's still a lot of fun. Just find something on either YouTube or iTunes or something that works for you. Some people like Michael Jackson. Whatever it is, Donna Summer, I don't care what it is. Just find something that makes you smile and just lifts your heart a little bit. So let's see. I'm going to open up for questions if anybody's interested and has a question about anything else other than dance tunes. That's so have you guys got it all figured out? How to be happy and healthy during COVID? Did you, well, let's start with what did you learn from what we just talked about? Insomnia, anything new to learn? Sometimes insomnia is just, it's a bitch. And it is hard to cure. And sometimes you really just need therapy. You just need somebody who can really help you with that. If it is intractable, if it's something that you just really can't to get by. But if you try to do some of the things that we talked about with getting out first thing in the morning, just maybe forcing yourself to get outside, go for a walk, go for a run, smell some flowers. We walked down Terrell Road, and it's so beautiful. The houses are amazing. It's got hills, so that makes it challenging. The flowers are beautiful, and there's not much traffic. So it works really well for us. And, if you need help, you should find some help. There are people out there who can help you. And if you really want to talk more about it, I can, try to find some people to to help you with that. But I think eating well, hydrating for sure, exercising, having good connections, I think a lot of that could help. Not drinking too much will help with the insomnia bit of it. Let's see, it says, I know you mentioned some activities already, but what advice can you give to people who thrive on social interaction? A lot of people identify as extrovert have expressed challenges. That is so true because I'm an extrovert for sure. And having, when we started doing these classes a couple times a week, it helped me so much. And even though I mostly stand behind the bar, the coffee bar here at Jones, it's just great to watch the interaction with people and being able to talk to people and meet new people. And so, you know, there are things to do. I know that the Botanical Gardens is open and it's huge, so you should be able to socially distance someplace like that. You know, find a class like what we're doing. Find a group of people who would like to meet in a way that is in a park, like you on your blanket with your picnic, and them on their blankets with their picnic, and you know, do that if somebody doesn't have a backyard. We have thought about opening up Jones for that kind of thing, for people that have meetings that are spread out, and we may very well do that. Does anybody else have any other ideas on what they, what people who are extroverts might be able to do to help themselves through this problem? Did that help at all? Lisa Hurst wants to dance to Mellow Yellow. It's a good one. So if we're kind of done with that kind of thing, I know some of you only join to do the meditation at the end, and that's okay. So I know I have not been great at doing my daily meditation anymore because I'm at this point in my life where I feel like I can do little mini meditations like all day long. So when I walk, and Tom and I walk, we have a period of quiet where we don't really talk to each other. And there's usually this one like area that's just so beautiful, and we just walk through this one area, and I just feel where I am at the moment. You know, feel my feet on the ground and feel the wind in my hair. Oh, speaking of hair, I had 6 inches cut off my hair yesterday. It feels awesome. I'm so glad I did it. Anyway, went through my hair, my body, how like emotionally I'm feeling and how I'm reacting to my emotions. All of that stuff. You can just do that anytime. You don't have to be sitting and quiet. But we're going to do that right now. So if you can put both feet on the floor. You don't have to shut your eyes if you don't want to. You can leave them open. Just kind of lower your gaze. Good posture, shoulders back, chest open. We can start by doing a quick little box breath, which is a count of 4 in, mouth closed through the nose only. Breath in, count of 4. Hold for a count of 4. Breathe out for a count of 4. Hold for a count of 4. So we'll do 2 rounds of that. So if you're ready, both feet on the floor and in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. And hold. Relax. 2, 4. In. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. Relax. 2. That just kind of gets you in the right space, and you can use that box breath anytime you want. It will decrease your cortisol levels and increase your serotonin and dopamine levels in a matter of 5 breaths. So easy to do, and you're welcome to do that during this meditation. We're going to feel our feet on the floor, our body in our seat. Shoulders back and down and relaxed. Soft belly. soft throat, maybe a little bit of a smile on your lips. Noticing how you feel right now, what you're sitting on. Is it hard or soft? Can you feel any air on your skin, your cheeks? Can you feel what you taste in your mouth? Are there any noises that you're aware of? Feel your emotions in your body. All emotions are felt in the body. Try to drop your breath down into your belly. When we breathe up into our chest, it increases anxiety. So drop your breath down in your body. See what that feels like. Noticing emotions without getting caught up in them. Noticing thoughts. And thoughts don't have to be real. They don't have to be acted on. They're just thoughts. Just noticing that they're there. There's lots of analogies for that. There's the boxcar train. As each thought comes up like a boxcar train, you can notice it, not have any judgment or criticism or desire to do anything about any of that. And as the boxcar goes, the next one comes, and you can just notice that it's there. Just let it go. Breathing in and breathing out. You can stay focused on that if you like. If that's a problem, you can stay focused on your body in the seat. Any noises you hear. You just do all of that without judgment, without having to cling to that thing. Notice the breath come in. Just notice that it's there. Coming in through the nostril, down into the belly, back out, warm air through the nostril. Simple, simple, simple noticing without things needing to be different. Being okay with what is. Seeing if you can slow or deepen your breath. If you can't, that's fine. No rules. Only rule is if you do notice judgment, just let it go. There's really no failing at meditation. You can have difficult moments during meditation. That's for sure. I've had plenty. You just notice it. Just move on. If you practice this and you get good at it, letting thoughts go, that's usually what keeps you up at night. That's usually what causes insomnia, is the overworking mind, overthinking mind. There's a lot to think about. But you can just let them go. Just let them know you're not that interested in them. And then notice your breath instead. If you're in bed, maybe notice the feel of the sheets. the darkness of the room. Oh my goodness, I get to lay down for a little while feeling. So I often feel when I sit for meditation, it's just such a relief just to just sit and just let it go and just be me for a while. Just be here. Noticing emotions coming up and going, yeah, that's an emotion that I've been feeling all day, but it can go away for a little while. It's fine. If it's not serving you, if that thought or emotion isn't serving you, it can go away. It doesn't need to hang out. Breathing in, breathing out. Fall asleep, that's okay. Feeling your body in the seat. Maybe dropping your shoulders just a little bit more, feeling a little bit heavier in your seat. Feeling your shoulders be a little heavy. Maybe now you can deepen and slow your breath. Breathing in, I feel calm. Breathing out, I feel happy. Happiness is often a choice. Wiggling fingers and toes, opening your eyes, moving a little bit. Maybe doing one of those stretches. Spinal twists. The last thing I do after every meditation, at the very end, I hold my hands like this, close to my heart, and I kind of just remind myself of 3 things that I'm grateful for, and I try to make it 3 different things every time. It's hard, but I try to. Although I have to say the first one usually is, I'm so glad that my family is healthy and happy. Very grateful for that. So then I remind myself that I can help myself by seeing things clearly. So I put my hands up here. I can help myself by speaking truthfully and clearly. I put my hands here. I do another breath. I'm done. So you don't have to do that, but I find that it really centers me for the getting on with the rest of my day. Another thing I want to talk about really quickly before we go is being of service. Being of service to something greater than yourself really can get you through a lot of things that are difficult. And there's lots of ways to do that. Donating money, that's helpful. going and picking up trash on the side of the road. And you get sunshine, you get exercise, and you get service. All good stuff. Working, like I said, in a community garden, helping out a friend. Maybe I have a lady next door who is ill, and I've been helping feed her cats and just get her mail and stuff like that. So, just find something to do that goes beyond what you need, and it can probably be quite a bit of help too. So, thank you so much to the San Antonio Startup Group. I appreciate you guys coming and listening, and all of your chats. And I love you all, and I can't wait to hug you. So one day it'll happen. I'm a hugger. So anyway, keep in touch. You know my email. If you don't know my email, I think it's on the thing, and love to hear from all of you.
Thank you, Julia. Like she said, you can reach her on the Hoova app. Follow Mello on social media, Instagram. We're following closely to Rosella. Join a wine tasting group, or for you guys to open. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.